What is going on, guys? Alex Eubank here, coming back at you with another YouTube video. This is going to be a little bit different of a video, more of an informational one. So I answer a lot of my Instagram DMs, and a common question I kept seeing was people asking about my programs. How can they make a program? Asking me to send them a free program, of course, and basically all this stuff. And I feel like one of the things that I struggled with when I first started lifting weights or getting into the gym was having a set program. I kind of went to the gym randomly and just kind of like trained whatever I thought felt good, and I was kind of blindly just going through it. And I could have definitely taken advantage of my newbie gains a lot more if I kind of had a written program that I was able to accurately follow and track, which I always struggled with in my lifting career. I always lifted kind of off of my instinct, and ever since getting a coach, and when I learned how to write my own programs, I kind of went from more of that program approach. So basically, I know a lot of you guys are younger watching me, and I want to kind of help you guys get a good direction with lifting and make sure you kind of utilize it, especially your first few years, in the best way to get the most amount of growth and the benefit from your time in the gym, because you don't want to be wasting your time in the gym, you know what I mean? Especially when you could be getting gains quicker by tracking your stuff. You know, the biggest thing to really getting a good physique is dialing down your training, dialing down your nutrition, and then your sleep, your recovery, and all that stuff, your water intake. All that is very important before you even touch like supplements, for example. So I'm kind of going to go through how you guys can learn to write your own programs, or if you want, you can purchase my own programs. I offer them on my website if you don't want to do it yourself. They're pretty cheap. It's like $25, and I'll show you an example, kind of what like it kind of looks like if you wanted to go that route. But if you want to make your own, you 100% can, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to go about doing that. So the biggest thing when it comes to making a program in the gym is figuring out what split you want to do. Now, there's a bunch of different types of splits you can go about, and one of my common questions I used to ask people who were in the industry before I got into it, I'd like DM them, be like, yo, what split are you running? Which one do you like the most? Or I would Google it. I was like, what is the best workout split for optimum muscle growth? And based on what I've seen and the studies that I've seen and the things that I've done and experienced my own, something where you're hitting each muscle group pretty much twice per week or twice within a 4-day period seems to be the best for growth when it comes to a balance of like intensity, volume, and all that stuff. I used to be big on doing a bro split. I feel like a lot of people, when they first start going to the gym, they do a bro split, meaning it's like chest one day, back the other day, then shoulders, then biceps, then arms, whatever. And you're just hitting stupid amount of volume on that one day, but you're only really targeting one muscle group at a time, which I personally don't think is the best for muscle growth. You're still going to grow off of it, especially in your newbie lifting. That's why I feel like I grew a lot even off of doing that, but I could have grew even more and progressed even faster if I was hitting each muscle group twice per week. That's what the studies show. It's best to do it like that. And you just got to think about it logically. I mean, if you're hitting your chest 4 times per month, it's giving your chest 4 times to kind of recover and build more muscle tissue back, versus if you're hitting it 8 times per month, that's twice as much times where your chest is breaking down muscle fibers and rebuilding them back. Now, it does get stupid when you're going to a point where you're training it 3 times per week or 4 times per week, because then you're kind of overtraining at that point, or you're not having a good balance of volume in that one workout enough to actually tear down the muscle tissue. So I feel like two times per week is a good way to get an active amount of volume and intensity and recovery in that muscle in that tissue you're working. So because of that, for me, my favorite splits, which I'll just tell you guys, because I don't even think you should waste your time with upper lower splits or full body splits. If you want to try it and that works for you, go ahead. For me, I never have liked workouts like that at all. Push-pull leg is a great beginner split. Obviously, push day, meaning you're working your push muscles, so your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Pull day, where you're hitting pretty much your back, your biceps, a little bit of your rear delts and stuff like that, your pulling muscles, and then leg day, obviously legs. Another split which I like a whole lot is an Arnold split, which is basically the first day back and chest. I like the superset back and chest. It's actually in my Greek God program. I'll show you guys. And then back and chest the first day, then shoulders and arms the next day, then legs the next day. So those are both 3-day splits. You're hitting each muscle group twice per week for the most part. When it comes to rest days, I personally take rest days. I used to, at least. I only took rest days when I feel like I really needed it, when I felt like I was getting burnt out. Now I like to do 3 days on, 1 day off for the most part. 3 days on, 1 day off. So one of the things I like to do a lot, I used to mix those splits together because I'd get bored of the push-pull leg, or I would feel like I wasn't getting enough volume on my arms. So I would do push-pull leg, rest day, then I'd do the Arnold split. I'd do back and chest, then shoulders, arms, then legs. So it was 6 different exercise days, but it made it a lot more fun when it came to my training. So first thing to do is to find out what split you want to do the best, that works for you, what you can have the most fun with, and you can enjoy the most, and you enjoy going to the gym and doing it. That's like a big thing. So I recommend a 3-day split or like something along those lines. Next thing is when it comes to creating a plan is your exercise selection. So what that means is what exercise are you gonna track, which exercises are you gonna do for that program, right? So for me, I guess I'll show you guys an example of what my Greek God program looks like for the first day, right? So how I have mine labeled out is mine again. It's like an Arnold split. I'm pretty sure in this. Yeah, in my Greek God program, the first one at least is an Arnold split. So I'm big on the pre-exhaustion stuff. That's just a method that I like. So you can see in here, I start off with a pec deck. And I'm supersetting these exercises. So it'll be a chest exercise, then a back, then a chest, then a back, and those are all in supersets, meaning the pec deck and the straight arm pull down are supersetted, the incline dumbbell bench and the barbell row are supersetted, and it shows the set scheme. I mean, the amount of sets you're supposed to be doing, the reps, the rest, the tempo. Tempo meaning 1, 2, 3 means 1 second contraction, or a 1 second like where you're doing the rep, right? So it takes 1 second to press. 2 seconds you hold in the contraction, then a 3 second negative. That's what that 1, 2, 3 tempo means. I explained that in the PDF, whatever. So it's just a little bit more complicated of a program. You do not have to do all this at all. So this is for somebody who kind of wants everything labeled out for them. If you're like that and you don't want to have to track any of your weight, or you not tracking your weight, but if you don't want to like track your reps, write it down every single time, having a program like this is like pretty beneficial to you. Just make sure when you're hitting the rep counts it says to hit, you're going, I guess, close or near failure around those reps. So when I'm doing the incline dumbbell bench, I want to get close to failure around 12 reps for the first set, 8 for the second set, 6 for the third set, and so on. This is one way to rate your program. Now, the second way is when you track your weight first and you go off of your reps and you really, really work on progressive overload, which is what I'm currently doing now with my coach. So I'll show you guys that here. Over here is how I would do it. So basically here, what I would do is, let's say today we're doing a push day and we're starting off with incline dumbbell bench and we have to hit 4 sets of it. Let's say I'm hitting around 90 pounds on my incline dumbbells. What I would do is I would write down all 4 sets, meaning here. So let's say the first set, I go to complete failure, right? I get 10 reps. Second set, I go to complete failure again. I'm only able to get 9. Third set, I'm able to hit 9 again. And then probably the last set, you wouldn't even get 9, probably get 8 if you're going to failure the whole time. So I would write down my reps accordingly and I would track this throughout every single week. So when I come to hit this workout the second time around, let's say I'm able to hit the 90-pound dumbbells again, but this time I'm doing 12 reps for the first set, 12 reps for the second set, 11 for the third. That means I'm getting stronger. That's showing progressive overload. When it gets to a point where I'm easily hitting 12 reps for all 4 sets, or it's just getting too light of a weight for me to really get a challenge from, I would increase the weight. So let's say the second week or whatever in this program, I only read off like the beginning just to show you guys an example. I will change the weight to 95, and then we'll go again with tracking all 4 sets of the reps, writing them down, showing how much I was able to do each set, going close to failure or to failure, and then basically just tracking your progressive overload. This way of doing it, where you go with setting your weight first, and your reps vary and change based on how much you're lifting, going to failure. This is more of a progressive overload approach. It's what I'm currently doing more with my coach. This is if you have more, you want to be more involved in your regimen, meaning you're really tracking everything to a T, which I always hated. I'm not gonna lie, I hated doing that. For me, I just trained off of instinct. I'd have like a rough idea of a program what I wanted to do, and I would hit the rep scheme that I wanted to do. And if it felt like it was too light, I'd increase the weight. If it felt like it was too heavy, I'd lower the weight. I was just like simple like that. But this is if you're like really particulate about how you're going about it. So yeah, this is again like another way to go with it. So again, you can just do simple things like getting an Excel sheet or going on like Google Docs or whatever, and or a spreadsheet. And all I would do is I just put at the top, I put like sets, weight, reps, and then find out the exercise selection that you want to do, the set scheme, all that stuff. And basically you can just go copy and paste and do maybe a week at a time, because it can be time consuming for sure. That program took me forever to write. But one of the other key things you need to make sure you're doing is having like the good exercise selection. Like I already was talking about that, I got kind of carried away. But for me, let's say I'll go through every single body part, what you need to be doing for at least every single body part, because you need to have at least one movement that's pure mechanical tension, like heavy weightlifting and all that stuff. So for me, for chest, you can do barbell bench presses, you can do incline barbell bench presses, you can do dumbbell bench presses, dumbbell incline, anything that's like a heavier mass movement where you're really recruiting all the muscle fibers you can is you need to have that. You need to have that in your workout regimen, your program. For back, for me, I like to do barbell rows. You can do dumbbell rows, something that's very, very heavy, T-bar rows, some heavy movement where I would say rowing is probably the best to really track for progressive overload, is a must-have. And I like to put these exercises all in the beginning of your workout when you have the most amount of energy, so you can really, really hit it heavy and hard. When it comes to biceps, barbell curls, dumbbell curls are great. Preacher curls you can start with. Triceps, you can go with overhead the dumbbell extension is great. Close grip bench, I love a bunch for tracking. When it comes to shoulders, you can do dumbbell shoulder press, you can do barbell shoulder press. Legs, you can do hack squats, leg extensions. I mean, not like, don't do leg extensions for a mass movement. Leg press, I mean, and all that stuff. Those all should be staples in each and every one of your training days. Whatever muscle group you're hitting, one of those movements need to be in all of those. You don't want to just hit machines on your push day, meaning I'm going to hit chest one day and all I'm hitting is like the cable machines, or I'm doing flies and there's no barbell bench presser or dumbbell pressing in it. I feel like you're wasting your time, honestly, at that point. You need to be hitting those big mechanical tension, recruit those muscle fiber movements is very, very key. So that's when it comes to exercise selection. After you get that main mass movement done, then you can kind of do like more of the accessory stuff, like, oh, I'm going to do dumbbell flies now, or cable flies. For back, maybe I'm going to do some pull downs. For legs, I'm going to do leg extensions, leg curls, shoulders, lateral raises, biceps, I don't know, cable bicep curl, triceps, cable extensions. Those are more like the accessory movements. Yeah, they're still, you can still should be lifting as heavy as you can, the most amount of reps you can, with good form. But those are more like the hypertrophy. You can focus more on form. You know what I mean? Make sure you're getting a really good contraction, mind muscle connection, a good pump. All that stuff is key. Those are more the things you can kind of change up the accessories, but the primary mechanical tension lifts should all pretty much stay the same, because you want to focus on progressive overload. All the other stuff can be like accessories, what you enjoy doing in the gym, what you have the best mind muscle connection with in the gym. Those should be those accessory lifts after that movement. So that's all I have for the exercise selection. That's like the main part, is finding your split, having good exercise selection, and then having good progressive overload, and then which way you want to do it, meaning if you want to go by having somebody lay out the reps for you, or do you want to do where you track your reps based on, you have a weight you have set out every week, you track your reps on that, and if the weight's starting to get too light, then you increase the weight and then track the reps again. So yeah, that's what I'm doing currently now on my program with my coach. So that's pretty much the main thing when it comes to writing up your own program. I wouldn't really know what other stuff to tell you guys other than maybe periods. So for me, I recommend doing until you change your exercise selection again, until you change your program or your exercises, I would do maybe about 4 to 5 weeks, probably honestly, yeah, 4 to 6 weeks, honestly. Whatever, if you're getting really bored of the exercises and you want to change it, you can, but 4 to 6 is probably a good time to really track progressive overload, especially if you're bulking. This is key. So maybe do the same exact push day I have listed here for 4 to 6 weeks, and then your weight, hopefully you go from doing the 90 incline pound dumbbells to maybe the 100 by the end of the program. Then once you get to that point, you can change up the lifts. Instead of doing incline dumbbell, maybe you'll do flat dumbbell or flat barbell or incline barbell, mixing it up. And then instead of dumbbell flies, you'll do cable flies, and changing the exercise selection again, to keep kind of like shocking the muscle, whatever. It just makes it more fun in the gym. You don't want to be doing the same exact exercises or you'll get bored in the gym. So I'd say 4 to 6 weeks, and then you can change up the exercises. But again, make sure you always have like a heavy mass movement. So if you don't want to do incline dumbbell, that next program selection, you can do incline barbell. You know what I mean? Just change it up, and it'll be a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable when you're in the gym. When it comes to my program, I used to put tempos a lot in my stuff. That's not required. You don't need to have tempos. It's just like a method I would see of hypertrophy. Definitely more of an advanced type of technique when you're getting into lifting, and it adds like a whole nother aspect to the program. But it's not required. Again, yeah, I offer my own programs on my website, alexeubank.com. Just plug in that. You don't have to buy them. Again, they're like $25, whatever. It'll have it laid out for you and stuff like that. But again, it's pretty easy to make your own, bro. Just get a spreadsheet, make your own, track your weight, pick the exercises. A lot of people just don't know what exercises to pick. That comes with experience. It comes with watching other people on social media, on YouTube, all that stuff. But yeah, that's like the easiest way I can tell you how to write your own program, man. It's really not that hard. Like, people overcomplicate it, but it's pretty key. I'm telling you, if you're a new lifter, don't just go in the gym training randomly like, oh, this feels good, I'm gonna do this. If you really want to take advantage of your newbie gains when you're in the gym, especially in your first 2 to 3 years, whatever, make sure you have a program, track your stuff, man. I'm telling you, I wish I could go back in time and do that. It really helps a lot. But yeah, that is it for today's YouTube video. Hope you guys enjoyed this type of style of video, more educational, informational. Again, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on so you guys are always updated when I upload on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think this video is going out Wednesday, so I'll see you guys on Friday. Got a bunch of stuff planned for this weekend. Bunch of content, bro. I'm getting my car modded. I'm going up to PA. Gonna meet a bunch of people at Power Build. It's gonna be a fun trip. So make sure you guys are subs so you guys can stay tuned for that. But again, if you want to support me, code Alex on Raw Gear, huge supplements, programs, merch, all on my website. What else? Code Alex, Heal Mix, code Alex, all that stuff. All right, God bless you guys. Until next time.